Morning, everyone. I'm Kunjan Arora. I'm from MyCALPharm. I hope my screen is visible to all. So we've gathered here for a small demonstration for MyCALPharm animal simulated software. So my screen is visible, I think. Okay, I'm starting with the demonstration of MyCALPharm. With me, Dr. Patil is there. He will be giving the small introduction, small demonstration regarding the experiments which we have. So this is MyCALPharm. This is the website which we have, mycalpharm.com. It is completely online software. This is torture-free learning, as we say. Animal House is not allowed in maximum colleges now, only medical colleges have. So here to run the experiment, to give a live view of how dissection happens, what all happens in the experiment. So we will be demonstrating you now. So this is the simulated animal experiment. So these are two veterans from our pharmacy industry. One is Dr. Ravindran. Pharmacology people, everyone knows Dr. Ravindran now. He doesn't needs any introduction. Next is Dr. Patil. Dr. Patil is with us now.
Yeah.
So
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, sir. So he will be demonstrating us few tutorial mode experiments. Let me show you the how the things work.
Okay, so do you want me to start, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Yes.
Very good morning to all, and welcome to this webinar related to MyCALPharm, the simulated experimental pharmacology. Can I share my screen now?
Yes, sir. Please.
I have sent a request for sharing the screen. Please allow me, ma'am. Okay. Hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, everyone in the audience, first I would like to share with you a little bit about the history of this particular software or simulated experiments in India. As shared by Kunjan madam, there are few people who are joining this particular webinar from overseas. To them, as per their time zone, I wish them good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever is the time zone, as per their time zone, and welcome to this particular demonstrations. Regarding this particular software, the software prepared by Dr. R. Ravindran was there in use for almost 4 decades now. Dr. Ravindran, the veteran pharmacologist from Jipmer, Pondicherry, in 1982, using MS-DOS commands, he for the first time tried to prepare a simulation for some of his pharmacology-related experiments. And the beauty of this kind of experiments is it is not only to replace animals from undergraduate, postgraduate education, but it helps in better understanding the subject itself. For example, if you consider dog blood pressure experiment, we all know that dog blood pressure related experiments or cat blood pressure, cat tissues, guinea pigs, rats, their isolated tissues, all these experiments are very important in understanding pharmacology or basics of pharmacology. These are the experiments based on which the subject of pharmacology had evolved in the beginning. We know that in 1904, for the first time, someone prepared an organ bath. Then, after a few years, we know someone started working on frog heart. Then there were experiments related to mammalian heart. Okay, so mounting a mammalian heart itself was a big leap in understanding of the cardiovascular pharmacology. Similarly, isolated tissues like, say, frog rectus abdominis muscle, which is a skeletal muscle, and presence of nicotinic receptors in that skeletal muscle. Such kind of experiments means using frog rectus abdominis muscle people have studied effect of nicotinic drugs acting on nicotinic receptors or their antagonists. And then whatever pharmacology we are learning in the textbooks, it has come across or come out of all this kind of experimentation. No doubt, today, few of these experiments, like use of frogs and all, has become obsolete now. In experimental pharmacology, we are not routinely using or not using frogs at all. But for students who are trying to learn experimental pharmacology, these frog-based experiments are also quite important. And in one sense, we can say that this kind of softwares like MyCALPharm, they are immortalizing the experiments themselves. So whoever is interested in knowing how actually experimental pharmacology is done in yesteryears, or how our predecessors have discovered drugs using simple experiments, then they will have access to such kind of experiment, such kind of simulated experiments. It is important for everyone, at least who is interested in experimental pharmacology or pharmacology subject, to know these kind of experimentations, how they were prepared. Because using the principles of these experiments, we are now setting modern experiments, cell-based experiments, organ culture-based experiments, 3D culture-based experiments. All of them will be having a basis in this kind of experiments now. Unless and until we know this conventional pharmacology, we will not be able to perform even the modern pharmacology using isolated tissues or using cultured tissues. So these experiments are going to stay with us for at least few more decades. Now, let me share with you that in this particular package that is being provided by MyCALPharm, we are having multiple experiments, means whatever basic experiments which are included in say UG, PG, medical, pharmacy, veterinary, and allied sciences related faculty. Even zoology people can benefit from such kind of software now. So we are having all these very peculiar experiments which are important or which define the experimental pharmacology: rabbit eye, bioacid histamine, then frog ciliary motility, dog blood pressure, frog heart, histamine related experiments, bioacid related experiments, and simple procedures which are there in experimental pharmacology, dose calculations, dose response curves. It's understanding general pharmacology starts with understanding the dose response curves. Then concepts of PD2, PA2, numerous tissues have been demonstrated here. Then very important part of drug discovery, experimental pharmacology, or even modern pharmacology is bioassays. Whatever basic principles are there of these bioassays, we're applying them in modern technologies also, modern techniques of studying drug effects also. Then we're having many whole animal based experiments where certain responses we cannot very efficiently demonstrate in actual wet lab experimentation. There, we need support of such kind of simulations. I'll be showing you a couple of examples where this kind of simulation plays a very vital role in properly conveying the subject details to the students. So there are many CNS-based experiments, even antipsychotics related experiments where demonstrating the conditioned response is a big challenge for teacher. And many times in actual wet lab experiments or wet lab demonstrations, a teacher may fail to demonstrate such experiments. That is where simulations are helping us. And then in absence of or after ban on all animal experiments, now such simulations are only last option for teachers teaching in the PG, UG, PG classes, as well as students learning related to zoology, veterinary sciences, medical sciences, pharmacy. Everyone relies on this kind of softwares now. And at MyCALPharm, myself and Dr. R. Ravindran, both are trying to provide the best possible demonstrations to our audience. So let me take you through a tour related to these demonstrations. Let's have a look at dog blood pressure experiment. Okay. See here, this experiment has been so nicely prepared by Dr. Ravindran that the complex experiment, the complex concepts related to central control on blood pressure, autonomic control on blood pressure, drug antagonism, then certain very popular experiments like Dell's vasomotor reversal and understanding related to Dell's vasomotor reversal. the nicotinic response of acetylcholine, which is very hard to even replicate in the wet laboratories. Okay, so such kind of experiments have been very nicely demonstrated in this particular software, where we get exact representation of what is happening on the polygraph, what is happening on that data acquisition system screen. And we can go on selecting different drugs or different procedures and check how these procedures or how these drugs really affect the blood pressure of dog. Let's see a simple aspect about autonomic nervous system related drugs, sympathomimetics. If suppose I ask you what is the difference between effect of ephedrine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, and isoprenalin. To explain this thing using conventional methods is very difficult. But here you can have a anesthetized mounted dog in front of you, and on screen you can start recording its responses to different drugs. Okay, so if suppose I am injecting epinephrine, that is adrenaline, I can show my students how it will be affecting the blood pressure of a dog, anesthetized dog. Okay, and then I can very efficiently explain what is meant by biphasic response of adrenaline. Here, as the graph is appearing on screen, I can tell my students that the response which is appearing here, where there is slight rise in the blood pressure, is because of alpha receptors, which are present in peripheral vasculature. And there is slight depression in the blood pressure, which is because of beta receptors which are present in skeletal muscles, in large blood vessels. This kind of explanations become quite tricky if you are not having a powerful simulation with you. Okay, so adrenaline or epinephrine exerts biphasic response because it is acting on both alpha and beta receptors. This very efficiently I can convey to my students using this audiovisual aid, using the simulation. Second is, if I want to tell them what is difference between epinephrine and norepinephrine, I can immediately inject this norepinephrine and tell them that on dog blood pressure, norepinephrine will be causing only rise in blood pressure. There will not be any biphasic response because noradrenaline is a prominent alpha agonist, alpha sympathomimetic receptor agonist. And that is how we can get a little more prominent effect, prominent rise in blood pressure, and there is no consequent fall in blood pressure because beta receptors are not involved. Okay, and like this, many other experiments, antagonisms, Dell's vasomotor reversal, nicotinic response of acetylcholine. See, in wet laboratory, if we want to demonstrate this nicotinic response of acetylcholine, we may end up losing few animals because by the time we reach to that nicotinic response, the animal may get sacrificed. The animal may not sustain the repeated administrations. But this kind of simulation, which has been very meticulously prepared by a veteran pharmacologist, sure helps us in clearly understanding what is really happening in anesthetized dogs' cardiovascular system when we are injecting the drugs and counting the blood pressure of that particular animal. So the power of this particular software is you are able to convey the most complicated subject, the most tricky aspects of pharmacology to your students very, very easily. And your students will be able to perform these experiments repeatedly. They will be able to see why a particular kind of fall and rise in the curves is there. They will be able to play with this software. They will try to administer multiple doses and all. And then for each student, this experiment, if suppose another student enters through his login and password in this software, then there we have taken care of randomizing the values related to the responses. So if two users are simultaneously sitting side by side and they are performing these experiments, then even that biological randomization, biological specific effects are there from, or they vary from animal to animal. Even that has been simulated in this particular software. So it is not just that superficially we have pasted some graphs and the responses are appearing, but at the back end of this software, Even randomization, random effects have been taken care of. If you administer a very large dose of some drugs, then the software will show that at this particular dose, the animal will die. Okay? Just let's try here. Say I administer say 500 microgram to the animal. It's possible that blood pressure will see. Here, the software is immediately telling me that the drug at this dose is very toxic and the dog is dead. Now you can imagine if this happens in wet lab, in live experimentation, and at your hands an animal is sacrificed, then it will take few more hours to set another animal, and you will be without reason sacrificing a dog to understand this particular pharmacology. So instead of that, if suppose because of your mistake the dog dies, then what I can do is I can just select another dog and start my practical. Okay, I'll have to click here. I'll be selecting a new dog and I'll be starting my experiment again. Okay, so it is that easy. Whatever people used to spend days together in understanding an experiment, using this particular software, you can do it very efficiently, demonstrate, learn, and then in exam mode, you will be presented with some questions related to this, where the examiner will be able to check your understanding regarding this particular experiment. So people who have conventionally learned experimental pharmacology in wet labs, they can understand the power of this particular teaching aid, MyCALPharm, using which you can, in real sense, you can convey the details of your subject to your students. Let's have a look at other interesting things in this particular software. I'm shifting to another experiment of frog heart. Now, as frog heart experiment has become obsolete, many times students may not have a real visualization about how this particular experiment was done earlier. But if you use MyCALPharm, you will be able to demonstrate to your students very nicely how earlier generations were performing the experiment. See here, very in high definition video, you will be able to tell your students how the frog heart appears, what are its various compartments, how you are removing the pericardium, how you are tracing sinus venosus, how you are cannulating that frog heart. Everything has been so nicely and so clearly in high definition video. Everything has been demonstrated to you. So all those parts which a student needs to understand from experimental pharmacology have been conveyed using maximum possible alternatives, like videos are there, animations are there, then on-screen explanations are there, then quiz is there. Okay, so after each experiment, you will be having a quiz also. Or while learning these aspects, you can just click on the quiz and you can see what details you are expected to know. And this quiz will be evaluated also. Okay, you will come to know about various terminologies which are used. Means on screen we are given some buttons where you will be able to know about the related terms of that particular experiment. There are scientists who are involved in these discoveries, so you can know their history, you can know their contributions to this particular experiment. See Oscar Lajendrop, this person in 1904, he had for the first time mounted a mammalian heart in reverse perfusion, retroperfusion manner. So even his details will appear. So this is going to instigate your students to look at more details about this particular aspect of experimentation. Okay, using conventional methods, say book or using live demonstrations, this amount of knowledge cannot be conveyed efficiently to the students in the given time span. So teachers who are trying to teach these experiments will be sure understanding. They must be appreciating.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah. So apart from this frog heart, we're having other aspects of this experiment also. Okay. Many times students do not understand significance of performing experiment in a particular way. Like suppose, even in modern science now, let's consider cell culture methods. There also we have to test certain concentrations of drugs in incremental manner. We have to gradually increase the doses. So even that understanding can come through this conventional experiments where you are trying to record the responses of drugs in geometrically increasing proportions. So here you can convey to your students how actually the experiment is to be performed. Okay, so all these aspects of experimentation, MyCALPharm conveys in the best possible manner. For each experiment now, you will be seeing that there are different set of scientists who have contributed to this particular drug, this particular experimentation. You will be having a different set of words which are related to that experiment and different set of quizzes, quiz related questions which are there. Again, this simulation has been prepared in such a way that whatever steps are there in the experimentation, all those steps are presented to the user in a specific sequence as it is expected to be done in the wet lab. So even, see, I have taken response of 5 microgram per ml, 0.05 is 50 microliter of solution of histamine. And I've got some response here. So in observations, I will be able to count what is the amount of or what is the height of this response. And then I will be able to enter this particular value in this table which is appearing on screen. Okay. So here I will be able to enter 7 mm as the response, and like this the experiment will progress. So such kind of demonstration enables the user to know what is really happening in this particular experiment. Okay. Let's have a look at some other aspects. Just in the beginning, I mentioned that there are some experiments where you may not be able to show your students certain responses of the animals. For example, when you are doing electroconvulsimeter experiment, there the tonic and clonic convulsions are the things that you have to explain to your students. So in this particular experiment, I'm highlighting here how precaution related aspects when performing the experiment, how cautions are to be observed. Those precautions we are trying to show here in this particular experiment. So this particular body posture of the animal, extension of its hind leg and taking its hands or taking its front limbs towards its chest indicates tonic phase of convulsion. And then for a very short duration, the animal will go in clonic phase. Okay. So here, a teacher can very efficiently show what actually is meant by clonic convulsion. Okay. Otherwise, showing this particular effect in live demonstration is very, very difficult. You may end up losing few animals. In certain animals, the clonic phase may not come, or the clonic phase will disappear by the time your students are trying to see that. So even these drawbacks of conventional demonstrations have been removed from teaching technologies using this particular software. Then this one is again a very nice experiment using which we are trying to teach effects of antipsychotics, Cook's pull apparatus. See, if you want to demonstrate this experiment to your students, you will need to train your rats for almost 1 week. Thrice a day, you will have to keep on training your rats. Then the rats will get conditioned and effect of drugs on that condition responses to be seen. Okay. Now, even after so much efforts, in live demonstrations, it is possible that sometimes your drug may exert effect, sometimes it may not exert effect. If the injection is not proper, then you will be failing in demonstrating what is actually meant by conditioning. But if you are using this particular teaching aid, very nicely you can tell your students to see how we are keeping the animal in this compartment of Cook's pull apparatus. And then how we are planning our stimuli. Like initially for 10 seconds, we are starting light signal to the animal. visual signal we are giving. For this 10 seconds, the ambience in that cage will be lit up. After 10 more seconds, we will have to give a buzzer sound. So here we have adjusted buzzer also. And for 10 seconds, the buzzer will keep on ringing. Okay? And this will show how actually the sequence of conditioning is done. And then after 10 seconds of this buzzer signal, we have to give actual shock to the dog. Sorry, shock to this rat. So when we start this shock, immediately the animal will be climbing that pole to escape the obnoxious food shock that is being given. So this is the training that we have to give to each animal that will be participating in the experiment at the actual demonstration. So after this kind of training, what is really the difference between inhibition of conditioned response and inhibition of both conditioned and non-conditioned response? If you want to demonstrate these things, MyCALPharm is the best option to tell regarding it. Okay? Using live experiments, you will be requiring too many efforts, and then there are chances that during demonstration, your rats may respond slightly differently. But this particular set of experiments will be telling you how or what is really meant by conditioned response, what is meant by inhibition of condition, what is meant by inhibition of non-conditioned response. So this is the strength of this kind of simulation now. We are bringing the teaching technologies to 21st century. Okay? And that's how MyCALPharm helps you in learning, teaching, and doing experiments. Then the question comes, what are bioassays? Okay, and how we can perform bioassays using this particular simulation. So bioassays may take a little longer, but using this simulation, you can go on taking the complete response panel for a standard drug, which contains around 10 microgram per ml of serotonin here, and the mounted tissue is a rat stomach strip. Now you may ask me whether we have really shown dissection related to this or not. So here also we have included dissection related to rat stomach strip. In a very guided manner, we are trying to tell the students how actually stomach appears, which part of stomach we are dissecting out, what is fundus and pylorus, and then how we are actually mounting that tissue. Okay. So all these things have been very nicely demonstrated here, and we can enable the student to really visualize what is being done in this particular experiment, why we are selecting only fundus part, explanations related to that, what type of drugs can act on this particular experiment. Everything has been demonstrated. So here we can see how to mount rat fundus to aeration tube and then into the organ bath. Everything has been systematically represented here. So looking at an experiment in a textbook and actually seeing the live demonstration differs a lot. Okay, and then demonstrating this particular experiment to batch of 15 or 25 students using conventional method is totally impossible, because only 3-4 students will be able to see what you are really doing on your laboratory table. But this particular package of experiments will be enabling you as a teacher and enabling you as a learner also. So when you mount this tissue, you are going to see what are the responses for each dose. At the end of this panel, serotonin test-related test tube will be activated. Then you can take responses in a specific manner, and you will be able to see the formula related to this. The user will be able to enter values into this particular formula, and then you'll be able to see how to perform 3-point bioassay. So step by step, we are trying to give entire bioassay related concept, visualization of the dissections, and simulation, interactive simulations, so that the learner will be totally engaged in this particular experiment, and he will be getting thorough knowledge about what is meant by 3-point bioassay, why particularly we are using serotonin for this experiment, what is fundus strip, why we are rejecting pylorus from this experiment, everything. Okay. Then there are still other concepts like how actually nicotine or effect of acetylcholine or its PD2 value can be decided, because even though no one is talking about PD2 and PA2 today, but we are talking about IC50, EC50. These are nothing but extensions of these values which were conventionally determined on isolated tissues. So these concepts are going to be there with us whenever we are performing any experiment, any pharmacological experiment, including cell culture, organ culture, 3D cell culture, then isolated tissues from or biopsy tissues, everything, everywhere will be requiring this principle. So this is going to be with us. So in this particular simulation, now I am showing you how conventionally prog rectus abdominis was mounted. A strip of prog rectus abdominis muscle was mounted, and how responses were taken. So when we inject a particular dose of acetylcholine, in this conventional setup, now we'll be able to see that the tissue constricts and relevant response appears on screen. Then we will have to wash this tissue, then only it will be coming to its normal tone. Okay. So like this, every time we have to go on recording the responses. And then in observation table, when I'm clicking on observation here, I'll be getting entire panel of these responses in front of me. Okay. And for each dose, whatever response I have got, I'll be able to count that response and enter the value there. Okay. Now, when I submit this particular highest response, why I'm submitting highest response here? Because I want to find out percentage response. So whatever maximum response I have got, I'll be entering that maximum response here and I'm submitting. Immediately, I will be able to visualize what was the percentage response against each dose or each concentration of acetylcholine. Then we'll be able to see how the graph appears and what is significance of this particular value now. So if someone asks me what is PD2 value of acetylcholine on a skeletal muscle, not only prog rectus abdominis muscle, but any skeletal muscle, then I'll be able to tell that it is removing this negative sign in front of log molar concentration. I will be writing here 5.42. So this is my PD2 value for acetylcholine on prog rectus abdominis muscle. And then as a teacher, I will be having sufficient time to explain to my students the significance of this PD2 value. Otherwise, even I provided 4 hours, I will be just trying to set the experiment and I will not be able to go up to the theory part. So even that is an advantage of this kind of experiment. The most complicated experiment in pharmacology is PA2 value, where you are trying to find out EC50 for an antagonist. So you will have to take repeated panels of agonists in presence of different concentrations of antagonists. So you can do this for atropine, you can do this for prazosin. For different drugs, you can perform this kind of experiment. So here, already I have conducted some responses and I have come up to the fourth panel of responses and I'm trying to enter the responses here. So 25 responses I have entered here. Now for next, it is 33. Then for next, it is 44. So all these responses I will go on entering here. And then I'll be able to see how to perform PA2 determination. So here it is almost 49 and 50. See, what I have done is already I have run the entire experiment where I have taken 3 different concentrations of prazosin, and in presence of those 3 different concentrations of prazosins, I have run the entire panel of adrenaline here. Okay, so the maximum response in each case is 50, 50, 50 here, and when I submit it, I will be getting percent response for adrenaline in presence of prazosin. Then I will be going to graph. See here nicely, I will be getting entire presentation of how different concentrations of prazosin are altering the responses related to phenylephrine or adrenaline. Okay. And here I'll have to go on entering the values of EC50. Now this is EC50 of phenylephrine in absence of prazosin. Okay. So that EC50 value I will be entering here. For first concentration of prazosin again, which is an antagonist, I am entering EC50 of phenylephrine in presence of the first concentration of prazosin. Okay? So that value will be coming as minus 55, 0.55. Then second concentration of prazosin and EC50 of phenylephrine in presence of that concentration of prazosin is minus 37. And then there is highest concentration that I have used for this particular experiment. And there the EC50 I am getting is minus 1, minus 0.1. After entering this, I will be getting this particular values. How much is the? I've actually taken anti-log of this. Okay, so when I take this anti-log and I submit it, I will be getting other values here, related values, using which I will be able to determine PA2 of my drug. So this is how even the most complex experiments have been demonstrated in this beautiful software, where we are trying to demonstrate most important aspects of this particular experimental pharmacology using highly sophisticated techniques. And whatever you are doing now in an experiment, you will be able to save those responses. Okay? You will be able to generate a PDF and you will be able to save it for future references. So even that is an advantage of this entire package. Okay? Suppose I have whatever I have done in that particular experiment will be saved in my name. Okay? See here the entire experiment, then whatever tracings I have got, whatever questions I have answered, everything will be reported here, and I will be able to keep these things for future references now. So this is how we can perform the entire experiment and we can demonstrate experimental pharmacology to our students. There are many other strengths in this particular software package of MyCALPharm, regarding which now Kunjan madam will be detailing to you. I'm stopping the sharing of my screen, and over to you, Kunjan madam now. Madam, are you there? Yeah.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Yeah, please, ma'am.
So I'm just sharing my screen. And so thank you so much, sir, for the complete demonstration of all the experiments which we have done. I hope my screen is visible. I'm starting with the just a short explanation of the exam mode.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. You can continue.
The logins are there. Everyone will be getting their own logins. So this is the dashboard, how the dashboard would look like, just a small demo of that. And the top 5 experiments, you can see what your institute has done, what students has performed. The percentage of the report wise is there, how many reports has been made, the PDF file, how many experiments has been performed, and what exactly is the progress of those experiments. Recent logins, who has login from your institute, the admin will be able to see. This is the weekly login activities. Then we have the recent experiment access, which are the latest experiments which has been done. Recent pages are there. Now here the total experiment performed you will be getting according to your dates. So I'm just going to the reports now. There are 3 types of reports which we have. One is the tutorial report. How many reports has been made, what all experiments has been performed by any student, you will be getting that. So there's here we can see 2 experiments has been performed by some student. Student name is Rahul Kumar, another is Vivek Singh. So the PDF has also been made by the student. So whatever the student will be doing, the faculty or the admin will be able to see what all students has done. So this the effect of drug on rabbit eye. This complete PDF will be there. QR code is there. You can even scan this QR code. So you will be getting the complete PDF. Their question and answers logs are there, written question and answers will be there. This is the tutorial mode report. Then we have the practice mode report. If any student has performed any exam for their own practice, you will be getting that thing. Then we have the report for the examination. What all exams has been performed by students, you will get the report for that. Even the faculty will be able to check that particular exam. So let me show you how the exams are scheduled and performed by students. So here I'm the admin of my institute. Here in the experiment is the schedule exam. I will be going to the schedule exam mode. This is the schedule exam. From the date, I can just choose when exactly I want to give the exam. Let's say on 7th, I'm adding one exam. Exam title, let's say I'm giving as a sessional exam. Student year, let's say MPharm first year I'm giving. Select experiment, which experiment exam you want to give. Here I'm giving two examination one rabbit eye and two rabbit eye again. There are two types of rabbit eye exams. This is the passcode for checking the exam and for starting the exam, so that nobody is able to perform any experiment outside the Cal lab. When status, I'm just giving add exam. So exam created successfully. So now the faculty has assigned one exam. We can see here title is there, sessional exam. These are the list of the experiment which I've given for the exams. MPharm first year, all students have given passcode for starting the exam and checking the report is there, exam is active. So let me see what exactly will be happening in the student account. So this is the student account, one dummy student account we've just created. So what all student will be doing, it will be shown in the account of that particular student only. Other students will not be able to access what one particular student has done. In the experiment, we can see we have the tutorial mode, practice exam mode, and the final exam mode. So practice exam can be performed by all the students anytime. Whenever they want, they can just start with the practice exam. But the final exam will be open only when the faculty has assigned any exams. So these are the final exam. These are the few basic instructions for them. These are the exams which has already been scheduled and done by the students. Here we can see these are the earlier exam which has been completed. Even result of that of these particular exams, the student will be able to see. And this exam is for today, which is if it is for tomorrow, it will be to start tomorrow. Tomorrow you will be having an exam. Right now I have scheduled it for today. So today in the student account, it is there for to start the experiment, to start the exam. So I'm just pressing the start button. All these instructions will be these instructions are there in the faculty account, and in these instructions can be changed by the faculty also. These are the final exam. Hall ticket is there. This name of the exam will be there. For starting the exam, the student has to enter the passport which the faculty has assigned. The faculty, when the student are starting the exam, the faculty has to announce the passcode. Only then the student will be able to start the exam. It's like for it's not that anybody can just open it, because we are giving the dummy logins to all the students. It's not that everybody can just log in and start the exam. It's not that. Whenever the students are sitting in the lab, the student has to enter this particular code which the faculty has assigned for starting the exam. Only after entering this code, the final exam will be, the student will be able to start. Passcode verified. Effect of drug on rabbit eye. This is the task. Going to the experiment now. For starting with any examination, the student has to write their full name here, Sham Kumar, their hall ticket number, which is mandatory, and their year. Without entering these basic information, the student will not be able to start the exam. So now these information has been done, and now the time left, we have given 30 minutes for every exam. Also, this time, the students, the faculty will be able to change it. This is one exam for the student. Here, in this exam, there are 5 unknown drugs which the student has to identify which this particular drug is. Let's say unknown 1, I'm just starting with it. I'm just zooming in. Unknown 1, I'm dropping in the right eye. Let's say unknown 2. Here in the right eye, we can see, let me use these tools. Torch effect is there. This is the cotton wool effect. It is also there. This by the scale, I'm just measuring the pupil size. What exactly is the effect of pupil eye, of the effect of drug on this pupil eye, we can see. By scaling, we can just measure the size of the pupil eye. This is the tono pen. We can see without adding any drug, the tono pen reading is 15. And now it is 11.55. In the observation, the student can write here unknown 1. Intraocular tension before it was 15 and after it is 11.55. The difference, the student will be able to write it. Light reflex was present before also and after also. Same is with the corneal effect. In unknown 1, now the student will be able to see, they can even select what exactly is the effect of drug. So what exactly will be the drug like? Since we have seen that the eyeball or the pupil has reduced its size, so let's say the student chooses amphetamine. Let me now add unknown 2 in the left eye. Ethically, we should add only one drug in the one eye and not different drugs. It will give wrong effect as such. So just to reduce the time, I'm just adding different drugs in both the eyes. Here we can see in the left eye, we have added unknown 2. Now I'm just checking with the tools which we have. So torch effect is there. Corneal effect is there. Pupil size, we can just measure. Even tono pen reading is same. Sorry, this is intraocular tension. This is the pupil size. Let's say before it was 8 and after it become very small, let's say 4, difference is 4. And now it has increased too much. Here it is same, intraocular tension is same. Light reflex is present, corneal effect is also present. Let's say unknown 2, let's say it is epinephrine. It depends upon the student what exactly they will be answering as unknown 1 and unknown 2 and answer the question. There are few questions which will be given. Every student will be given a different set of questions. So no scope of cheating will be there. Suppose in the examination there are around 25 or 30 students. So all these students will be given 5 questions and every 5 question will be different for all the students. So here we have few questions for justify the answer. Then we have few basic question also. Name the drug used in the treatment of glaucoma. Name some biotics used in the clinical practice. So here the students, the faculty expects the student to write their answers and submit it. MCQs questions are not there in the examination mode. It is there in the tutorial mode only, just for their reference. They have to study that. Any remarks if the student want to give, they can just write it here. If the faculty is there in the Cal lab, and if they want to see the result, they can just see the result by entering the passcode which they have uh, entered when they were just making the exam. And let me check it here. Suppose the faculty is there, so they can just check it. Their answers: unknown one was amphetamine and unknown two was epinephrine, what the student has written, while the correct answer is pilocarpine and ephedrine. Report: the whatever the student has performed will come in the PDF now. And this particular PDF will be shared with the faculty only. I have pressed the button report, but the student will not be able to get this particular report. Only the faculty will be report submitted successfully. Only the faculty will be having the report. After submitting the report, the exam will be finished. If they want, they can just, they have to, after submitting the report, the student will not be able to do anything with the exam. No other drug they can choose. They cannot change their answers, nothing they can do. But in their exam, they have to have unknown 5 here. So they have to identify which all drugs they have chosen. So I'm going to the dashboard now. After one exam, the reports are there. The student will not be getting the reports. Let me go to this. Let me go to the faculty account only who has submitted, who has given the test to the student. The student, and there we can see in the reports of the final exam, Sham Kumar, M-Pharm first year. The faculty will be getting their result, their PDF, whatever they have performed. The faculty will be able to see by this particular PDF. Name of the student will be there, first year, and email ID will be there, examination name will be there, observation table is there. So whatever the student has performed will go to the faculty in the form of the PDF. Logs are there, what student has done with their timing. Whether the answers which they have chosen are correct or not, it will be seen here. Unknown one, correct answer was pilocarpine. They have done amphetamine. Similarly, with the second unknown, all their answers are not correct. The written questions, whatever they have written, will become a part of the report as well. So here we can see their report. Now it's in the hands of the faculty. If they want to give any remarks, they can give. If they want to give their any grade or marks, they can give. Suppose whatever the marks they want to give, 4 out of 10 or whatever marks, not good, do it again, or whatever comment they want to do. This particular PDF is with the faculty only. If they want, they can share with the student just to show what exactly they have done. If not, it is with in the faculty account and not with the student account. Now here I am just sharing with the student, submit, successfully updated, and now the PDF will go to this student account also. So all these result you can just export to Excel. You will be able to see, you will be able to get the complete result of what the student has performed. And whatever columns do want, you can just consider it as the result only. Let me show you the final exam mode. Let me show you what all exam mode we have here. So in this, we have rabbit eye, 2 exams are there. In dog BPHR, 3 types of exams are there. Frog esophagus, two exams are there. Frog heart, two exams are there. And then all these experiments all are under their exams. In practice mode of exam, all the experiments, all the exams are open. The student can open, the timings are also not there. So student can perform any exam for their practice. The final exam, the student will not be able to know which exam the faculty will be assigning them. Like we are having rabbit eye two exams. In dog BP and HR, we are having three exams. So the faculty can assign any type of exam, whatever they want, to the students. So in the practice exam, all the exams are open. The student can perform the exam. Their report will be shared with the student only in the practice mode and not to the faculty. But the faculty will be having the access to all the reports. They can definitely check it. So these are the other features which we have. The contact details are there, usage summary, who all have uploaded, who all are uh, using it, what exactly they have done, what students have done. Then we have the faculty, all students are there, how many students are there, what exactly, if they want to upload any number of students, even that is available to all the faculty. The faculty can add more number of the students if they want. Basically, in one institute, we are giving dummy accounts. These dummy accounts can be used by any number of students. So whenever the student will be logging in with the dummy exam, whenever they are performing the any experiment, they have to write their name, their hall ticket number, and their course. So with this particular thing, everyone, the faculty will be able to see which student has performed which experiments. Let me show you one thing. Like this is the admin account. Here we can see, we can identify by this student name which student will be performing which experiment. So whichever whatever the dummy accounts we have already issued to any college, it's only for the purpose of the logging in or coming into the software. But when the students are performing, they have to write this basic thing. So we do not want the 100 logins also. We have given you the dummy login. You can access, the student can access the software by those particular only. Like this is one account, only one testing user account is there for student, and any number of student can perform any exams or any tutorial mode experiment also. By here, we can just add any number of students. We can see how many students are there, what exactly they have done. We will be able to see. If the admin want to add any faculty, they can even add their faculties by just a very basic information. By adding students, you can even upload these students Excel here. If you want to have the complete Excel of the student, you can upload it here. And this is the dashboard for the admin, just to see what exactly is happening with the software, the subscription date, when it will end, what all are there, how many experiments are there, how many experiments has been performed in all up till now, and total assigned experiments are there, how many exam modes it's there, if any static IP has been given to us, top 5 experiment. We can see the report of everything, what the software is doing, what your students are doing, you will be able to see here. And we are giving you more and more number of experiments every week. We are adding more experiments right now. As we can see, yesterday only we have opened the pyrogen testing, and these two experiments are under testing. Within I think 1 week or so, we will be opening these two experiments also. So as and when we are giving you the more and more number of experiment, we will be opening them for you. And it is in the updations only. Whatever updations we will be doing, it is a online software. You will be getting all the updations with it. So any questions are there, anything you want to ask, you can please write it. If any experiment has not been added into the list, you can please tell us. We will be adding that also. When these two experiments were not there, we have already added, and it is under the testing, and it will be opening very soon. And still, if you think that some are not there, you can just this one feature which I have not told you. This is the suggestion and the feedback form. Here we can just write whatever the feedback is there. If something is not working or any experiment is missing or anything, maybe some good suggestions also, maybe some nice feedback or anything you want to write here, you can just write here. If some experiment is missing or whatever you want to write, you can just write here, and our team will be contacting you personally for that. This is only for the institute who has already purchased it. So these features is not there for the trial one. So you will be getting all the suggestions, whatever the suggestions we will be getting, we will be trying to incorporate in our software. Any questions are there? Any queries? You can please type it in the channel, and we will be happy to assist. Ian Patil sir is also there.
Madam, there are some comments on YouTube channel where people are saying that we have not added many experiments from semester 4 and all. So to the audience, I would like to suggest that those experiments are under development and very soon we will be adding them to the list. So whatever is there, and not only B-Pharm related experiments, whichever experiments are necessary for experimental pharmacology understanding, all those experiments are getting added. Okay, day by day we are just going on adding those experiments.
And regarding the charges, we will be contacting you for that. We have already shared our number, our email ID. We will be contacting you for that personally, sir.
Yeah.
It is just the educational webinar. We're not here to sell our thing. So subscription charges, I don't think so we should discuss here. We will be personally contacting you for that, sir. Any experiments related question is there, you can please ask.
Someone has suggested anti-inflammatory activity related experiment. We are going to add it within a week or so. You will be able to see it in this list now. Anti-inflammatory experiment.
Physiology practicals are not there, ma'am, on me right now, but we are trying to work on this also. Let's see, ma'am. If whenever it will be done, we will definitely be contacting you for this.
Okay. I think who are the subscribers of this software, they are going to get it free of cost. You will not be paying more for the experiments which are being added to your subscription. They will be freely available to you. As said, when they are added, if you are subscribing it, you will be getting it free of cost.
If you want to have the access to the tutorial mode, we are already giving you complimentary. Let me show you how you can just sign up. Here on the login page, there is a sign up button. You can just enter the basic information, your institute name, first name, last name, your phone number and the mobile number and a small captcha. And all your experiments will be open for testing purpose. For trial purpose, you can just have an access to all the experiment whatever we have. And still, if you are not able to do it, do just tell us. We will be making your login and we will be sharing it to you. So once you will be having the access to the software, you can run any number of experiment anytime. No time constraint and no limitation on the number of running of the software. After purchasing the Validity is for 1 year, or if you are taking it for 3 years, then all the updation, whatever the experiment we will be adding, whatever updation we will be doing in that particular experiment, everything will be incorporated without any charges for that. We've already shared the contact number in the email IDs. You can just mail us for anything. Printout can be taken for all the PDF, whatever the PDFs are there. It is a normal PDF whichever we have. In the reports, all the PDFs are there. Like here, I'm just opening one report. You can take this is the PDF. Printout can be taken anytime. Like here, I'm just showing you one experiment, which is the bioassay of serotonin. All the tables will be there in the PDF. This is the standard one. This is the test one. N1, N2T is there. The calculation part is there. And even the graph is there. Logs are there. What all has been done. MCQs are there. So this complete PDF, you can take a print out of it. Like here, this is the graph. Even this will be a part of the PDF. This is PA2 of atropine. This is the observation table of it. Graph on the laptop is there. Logs are there. Then MCQs are there. So PDF is downloadable. Printout can be taken for it.
Madam, someone has, Mr. Praveen has asked whether we have a SOP to operate this particular software.
Correct.
So we have a SOP, we have given it in instructions, and step by step, everything has been explained here. Okay.
For every experiment,
Yes, SOP
these are there.
There, right. Then many people are asking about subscription charges. They can directly register on the website of MyCALPharm.com, and then from there they can inquire with the team, MyCALPharm team. Okay. Someone has asked about interpolation isolated tissue. So what we will do is we will be preparing some short videos of all these experiments, and we can put it on web for access by all. So all these demonstrations will be shown. And then in tutorial mode, step by step we are given instructions. So if you follow those instructions, you will be able to see how the things develop on your own. Like there is no need of showing a separate video of any experiment. You try to perform it, you will be able to see how to perform interpolation assays. That is what is our suggestion. In tutorial mode, everything has been given in a very guided manner.
And sir, we will be making your account for this interpolation. So you can just choose this experiment yourself only, sir. Just try to choose it. You will be able to see what exactly has been done here. The complete experiment you will be able to perform, sir.
Right. Then again, Mr. Praveen has asked whether we have tutorials of all experiments. Yes, whatever experiments are there, for each experiment we are having tutorial, then practice exam, and then final exam. So all these three components will be there available for each and every experiment.
This is the setup for interpolation method. So we'll make your login. You can just log in and you can definitely try to do this experiment yourself. It will hardly take 5 minutes of yours. So all the experiments are open in the trial version. You can just have a look at the all the experiment. You can make their PDF. You can perform the complete experiment. But exam mode is not available in the tutorial in the trial mode. But all the access to all the experiments are there. Any other questions are there, or I think we should. So should we commence with the session?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for sparing your time and attending to this informative webinar. This complete webinar was nothing for sale. It is just an educational webinar just to show you how MyCALPharm works, what all experiments we have, what all examinations we have. And if there's any kind of query, you can please contact us on the numbers given below. And I hope to personally meet you all soon. We will be contacting everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.